Hi folks, my name is Tim Savage and I am the immediate past president of the Orchestra of Northern New York. I am also host of Behind the Scenes of ONNY, one of 5 new ONNY online programs which includes fascinating conversations with a wide variety of people who have been and are involved in the ONNY family today, from donors, our volunteer transportation crew who also serve on our board of directors, and even a young artist competition participant. One of my favorite interviews was with ONNY's founder, music director, and conductor Ken Andrews, whom I deem to be one of the most significant personalities of the past 50 years in our region for his many areas of impact as a visionary, performer, and master teacher. The first of 4 segments of this interview aired on Thursday, October 1, and can be viewed by going to our website, onny.org/online. Today is the second segment in our interview. Over the next 2 Thursdays at 12 p.m., Ken and I will delve deeper into his background, the formation of ONNY, and take a good look under the hood of the history of this treasured North Country cultural institution. We hope you will log in at noon on December 10th and 17th. Thanks for your support. Thank you for the background. I mean, what a fabulous, fabulous life. What do you recall about the formative moments of the Orchestra of Northern New York?
Well, in the spring of 1987, spring of 1988, John Lindsay, who's been our concertmaster for these 30 years, and I got together and we're discussing this. I had 3 goals in mind. I felt there was nothing between Ottawa and Syracuse or Burlington and Rochester in terms of anything professional for musicians to play in. And many of our friends actually drove to Portland, Maine, or Burlington, or Syracuse, or Rochester to sub and play in orchestras. And so one of the reasons was to offer this opportunity for professional musicians in our region to not have to travel. Many of them I'm sure still kept some of the other gigs that they had, but it gave that opportunity. The other reason I wanted to start it was that it would give people in this area an opportunity to hear some professional playing. It would also offer a chance, because I saw that really talented Crane students could get a chance to be apprentice with these people down the road. And then I had a vision of this orchestra really blossoming into some things for youth activities. And that was really what I talked to John about. The 2 of us talked, and we sat in front of my fireplace for 2 nights up until about 4:30 in the morning with Sally Shumway, who would become our principal violist. And the 3 of us went through reams of pages of possible musicians and where we would get money. And let me tell you, in those first concerts, I think it was $15 per musician for a service, and the conductor got 30. And we did
That was the pay scale.
That was about it. It was a little higher than that when we would add other things, but we did trust fund concerts and other things. And then we met with Roy Schaberg, who was a charter member, principal horn, and at Uncle Max's, which is now Walmart, but we would meet there, and the 2 of them had what they call board meetings once a week for lunch. And we met and discussed how this could work. And Roy gave me some ideas about the winds. I met with every member that was invited to play in the orchestra personally, either at their house or I met them at some place for coffee and discussed what we wanted. And it was interesting that as much as all of us feel that community bands and orchestras are the backbone of this country, they really are a backbone of people who help the arts. Most of these musicians said they only wanted to do this if it was unless it was a professional orchestra, period. And they said that's the only way they would do it. And many of them taught full-time and everything else. So, they felt if they were going to put this kind of time into it, that's what would have to happen. So I approached several people, went up and down the street to businesses. Wally Siebel was the first person who wrote me a check for $500 and said, I won't be able to do 500 again, but every year I'll give you something. And I solicited from all the town's businesses $75 each, and they got an ad on the back of the program and in the Friends of the Orchestra. And for the first 9 to 10 years, we just had a paper board. The board was amazing on paper, I mean, incredible people, but all of them said they had one requirement for being on the board, and that was they never had to attend a meeting. So it was a bit of a paper board, but it did give us an opportunity for grants and such. And I did most of the work, not as well as our staff does now, that's for sure. But I did all the work that we do now probably for about 9 to 10 years. And it just about put me under. Until Con Quinby, who was the rector at the Episcopal Church, came to me at my office and said, Ken, you can't keep doing this. This is impossible. And this man really created our first board. He and I were like this. We're like loggerheads a lot of times. We both respected each other, but you know, we like crazy. But he had vision, and just like every board president we've been so blessed. But he got it going, and from there, it's come to where it is. And now we have this amazing staff and amazing board. And I have to say that they're very few, I mean, we are so fortunate and blessed to have the people in every one of our positions.
I agree.
Whether that's our board members, which I've heard you say before, and it's so true, every member of that board has something important to bring.
Yep. And they bring it.
And we've had,
they're engaged.
All of our board members for all 33 years have been wonderful. But this particular board, I think, there's a certain expertise about it that is amazing. And you have done an amazing job with it. And Kimberly Bush is going to also do an amazing job. And we're blessed to have Kathy Del Giudice, such a guru in arts for so many years. And I worked with her. In fact, she and I changed the name of the orchestra in 2000 from the Chamber Orchestra of Northern New York to the Orchestra of Northern New York. And we brainstormed over at her house about this. And, you know, and she and I are very opinionated about things, which I love. I love working with people that have strong opinions, and that's how you get things done. And then you finally come to terms, and you finally go, you know, you have to go. But all of our staff members, Joe Rubio, personnel manager, and Keith Ziemba as the orchestra, and Jim Waldman, our sound light. I mean, none of these people, you can't get anyone better. And to work with such high levels of professionalism is really amazing. So I feel very blessed about that.
Wonderful. What are some of your favorite memories over the past 32 years?
Wow. You know, it's an interesting thing. My most famous memories are the rehearsals. People always ask me, what do I enjoy conducting the most? I enjoy conducting the most, whatever I'm conducting. It literally is. I don't care if that's contemporary, if it's Baroque. Whatever is on the docket is my favorite thing and has my focus. But rehearsals, I mentioned in one of my interviews to someone reminding that I can't remember the musician or conductor that said this, but rehearsals are for the music director and for the conductor, and concerts are for the musicians. And I believe this, because in rehearsals you create everything. The wonderful thing about concerts is you share it with other people. But what's the fun part about it is building that. And that's why I look forward to rehearsals.